Hello, I'm back. I hope you can find me. It's Kylie here from Hello Crafter, back again. A second attempt at coming live. Technical issues this morning with my sound. Don't know why, because I'm doing exactly the same thing I do every day. So I don't know if I'm just pressing something randomly when I'm putting my phone in the holder or something. But the thing that fixed it last time didn't work. So hopefully you can come and find me. Might put a little note in my Facebook just to say I'm back live again, just to waiting to see if any of those people find me again. So hello Valerie, you found me. Am I audible? Can you hear me? See if Steph comes on and lets me know as well. So yeah, I'll just give it a second just to make sure. Yeah, she can hear me. Yeah, thanks Steph. Right, I'll carry on. As soon as I've just lost a few minutes there. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, don't know what happened, but I'm just going to actually just crack on with it, just so that I am not keeping you too long on your lunch break. So this is the card we're making today for day 9 of our 12 days of Craftmas, and it's a bit of a fancy fold. It's a double Z fold, and I like these because you can create little scenes with them. So if you have like little fun characters, stamps and dies that you can use, something Christmassy, you could just do a forest of trees, you could do little polar bears, penguins, whatever you've got to hand, you can create a little scene with the snowdrift and or any kind of scene. So this is a fun kind of template to have as your base card. It fits in a normal size envelope, and it folds out. It goes flat like that, but then it just stands up like this with the little 3D elements popping up. So it's nice and simple. Like I say, I'm using Festive Friends today. This is it's actually my second most used bundle of this season. So my first top used one is the Ornamental Christmas, which I've used a few times during this Facebook Live series. This is my second most used one. So it's been very, very well loved. And yeah, I just think the little characters are really fun, and they're dead easy to colour in as well. There's not a lot of colouring to do, so that's why I love it. So, but I'm going to start with the card base itself. And so what you need is I've taken an A4 sheet of cardstock and I've cut it in half vertically. So with the short edge along the top, I've cut it in half at 10.5 centimeters. So it's half an A4, but I do need to cut it down. I'm cutting it down lengthwise to 22.5, and then I'm going to do 2 score lines in this, one at 7 and one at 11. Don't worry about having to remember these measurements, because if you place an order with me, you're going to get PDF with all the measurements and instructions in. So this is actually going to be folded that way and then that way, so you get like a Z shape. So, but then you need a piece of white cardstock, which I thought I had out, but I don't. And that is you're going to need a strip that measures 5 centimeters wide by the same length, so 22.5. And then you're going to do the exact same scoring on that, 7 and 11. It's pretty easy to remember this one. So, I mean, the measurements can be tweaked a little bit, but I use these because I just wanted my end card when it was folded up to fit in an envelope. That's kind of all I was worried about. So I just sort of experimented with the sizes of these panels and the depth. But as long as your strip is the same measurement, this will work. So instead of you folding it the same way that way, you're going to flip it over. So you've got now the longest side, and then you're going to fold it back and fold it back again. So it's like a, well, it's still a Z, but instead of the short one being on top, the long one's on top. And that's how your double Z will fold, like that. So it's kind of parallel. So hopefully that makes sense. Right, so to decorate, I need some white panels to decorate this card. So I'll just get some card scraps because, again, no, I did have one ready. Was that it? No, right. Let's start again. Using this same bit of card that I just took that strip off. I want a piece that measures. Now let me just think, because I wrote it down. I knew I'd forget if I didn't put that down. Give me 1 second. So yeah, 21. Sorry. Right. So it's 21 wide by 10. That is going to go on here, but I'm going to stamp it first, decorate it first, and then I'm going to just slice it up for the 3 panels. So I'm starting with just one piece of cardstock, which I'm going to cut up. So in the stamp set is my favourite stamp, which is the snowflake, obviously, because it's a snowflake. And I'm just taking my pool party ink and I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp the snowflake all over. You just turn the stamp around and get as many in as I can. If you rotate the stamp, it kind of, it looks less I don't know what the word is, sort of structured. Looks a little bit more random if you twist it around as you go. So I've got lots on there. That should do it. And I'm also going to take my blending brush, just a big one. I'm just going to blend some ink from the top down. So starting at the top, blending it down a little bit. I just want quite soft colour on here. So it'll be slightly darker at the top and then going lighter as you get further down. Yeah, that should do it. Now we can cut. No, first of all, I'm going to stamp the trees. So yeah, stamping the little tree stamp, taking my garden green ink. This is nice, quite a nice dark green, so it stands out really well. So I want to go fairly high up because this is going to cover some of it. So I'll just place my trees at various heights, but just sort of starting. They look a little bit like they're floating in midair, but once this is on, it'll be. And then maybe I'll just get a few stamped off ones. Get a nice full forest going there. So my background is nice and full now. Now I can chop this down. So I'm just going to chop a piece for this section, which will be 6.5. And then piece for this small section, which will be 3.5. And then this final bit should fit now because I've put it to the right size. So I can glue those on. I do realise I am going quite fast, so you may not be able to craft along with me, which is fine. This, you know, I'm a fairly speedy crafter, but at least with the video you can go back and you can watch later. You can watch it on whatever speed setting that you like, slower, faster, with sound, without sound, whatever you prefer. You can pause it, you can go back, just so that you can kind of capture all the little bits. But I don't think this is too complicated. So now for this bit, I'm going to cut a wavy line so that it looks more like a snowdrift. So I'm going to start fairly high up. I'll just do some waves. I'm going to go a little bit lower this end. Like that. So you can make that as high or as low as you want. I'll just take another little bit off actually. Just so I can see a bit more of the trees. That's better. And I'm just going to set that to one side while I do my little snowman. So just inking up your snowman on a little bit of white card. Black ink, just the Memento black, because I'm going to colour in blends. So that's him there. So I've got a few different colours of blends. I've got a real red for the hat. I like the real red. I like the contrast between the red and the pool party. So it's going to have a red hat. And I always say this, I'm not a great colourer. I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time, but I do enjoy adding a little bit of colour here and there. I like this stamp because the areas that you have to colour aren't too big, so it doesn't take you long. So it's going to have a red and white striped hat. And timid tiger nose, carrot nose. And I've got the summer splash actually, that goes really well with the pool party too. Just a darker version of it really. So I'll just colour the scarf in. And then I'll take the light pool party. I just like to add some shadow. It's really subtle, it makes a massive difference. Just where there might be some shadow on the snow. So I like that effect. And then that's going to be die cut. So I'm going to die cut the snowflake, the snowman, and then I'll die cut some trees. So just pop the die on. You can use tape just to hold it down, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just going to do that without. And then I'll do a couple of trees in this garden green cardstock. Might do 2 of each. And then just one more pass. Oops. And that will do. There's 2 different tree dies in this set. They're both very different, but they're both quite sort of abstract looking, which are really fun ones. So I've got those to create our scene with. So I'm going to stamp a greeting on here first before I stick it on. And I've found one in a retired set that I really like. This is retired now. I think it's only just retired, but it's my old Sparkling Snowflake stamp set, but it's got Let It Snow. So let it snow, let it snow. Let's just pop that on there. And that can now be glued on. So when I did my original one, because this white is exactly the full length of the cardstock, I thought I might prefer it if it was just a tad shorter, and instead of lining up with the edge of the card, it lined up with the white layer. So I'm going to try that now on this one, basically taking off just a sliver. Might have to turn it around so the flat edges, not the curved edge, the flat edges along the top, and then I'm just taking like 2 millimeters off each side. Let's see if that works. And then first of all, you need to glue that side on. So just this side of the fold, pop your glue. And then I'm going to line it up with the white layer. So bottom and top side is lined up with the white layer. I just think that gives a bit of a neater finish. So instead of gluing this side on flat, I think I prefer to fold everything up and glue it folded so that you know that it will fold flat to go in an envelope. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold the card, fold that. I'm going to open that up and just put glue just on the end of this section. Oh, I know I'm off camera, sorry. Glue just on this section. You can go a little bit further in actually, not all the way to the fold, just a few centimeters in, and then fold it flat, stick it down. You're only gluing it to this section here. That's where you put glue, and that should work perfectly then. So it'll open up, and then that way, if your measurements aren't quite perfect, it may not sit completely flat that way, but that's okay. But you do want it to fold neatly to go in your envelope. So, because that's how it's going to stand anyway. It's going to stand slightly open. Yeah. Right. So then we just have to decorate it with our little elements. So I'm going to put the snowman on first. A couple of dimensionals. And pop him there. And then the trees can go either behind or in front, attached to the white snowdrift. But just be careful that when you're popping things on, you're not overlapping any folds, and that's going to restrict your movement. So just keep checking that. I'm going to put this one in here. Again, just give it a test. And then these two can go just here. And then we're just going to finish off with some of these lovely sparkly sequins, which I think look a little bit like snowballs, or snow falling. There you go. That's our little scene card. So yeah, I'm actually very excited to see what you guys do with this style of card, using what you've got. Love to see some different variations of it. So there you go. Oh, there was another bit on the back, I've just realised. So I'll just cut that because I didn't cut myself one. So it's just another piece of white card for the back, because there's not really anywhere to write a message there. So you just stick that there, and then you've got that would look nice stamped. Actually, I've just realised, I think a bit of stamping on there would look good. Although I've lost my ink pad now. It's so weird. Did I drop it? Is that what? Oh, there it is. So I didn't do this on mine, but I just thought, oh, it'd be quite nice to get a little bit of stamping around the edge there, and a bit of colour. It'd be quite nice just to add a little bit on there. So there you go. It's a fun little card. So thank you for joining me. Thanks again for the orders that came through yesterday. Really appreciate you shopping with me, especially in December, which is you know, obviously I appreciate orders all through the year, but especially in December, when you've got lots and lots of other things to spend your money on. So I'm really grateful for that. I have how many more days to go? 3 more days of my 12 days of Craftmas, and my special ordering offer is on until Sunday. So I do have to say though, we have a free shipping with Stampin' Up tomorrow. Well, it starts at 11 p.m. tonight, and it runs from all day Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Yes. So don't order anything today. If you were thinking of placing an order, do it tomorrow or do it tonight at 11 p.m. if you want, if you can stay up, if you're up anyway, because you're going to save on the shipping, which is going to save you nearly £7. So you might as well do that. Get more for your money on craft supplies, not on shipping. So yeah, I will be posting about that later. And other than that, enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow. We're doing I won't sneak peek the project, but we're doing a little gift bag tomorrow. It's a cute one. So join me tomorrow noon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.